Breaking news everyone, this one is serious and honestly, it's shaking the whole country right now. The Inspector General of Police has reportedly moved to stop the planned Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest, but something unexpected happened, and it's changing the whole conversation. Stay tuned because I'm going to break this down clearly so you understand everything that's going on. Before we move forward, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on your notification bell so you never miss any of our real-time updates. Now, let's go straight into what really happened. So, the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest, a peaceful movement planned by rights activists, led by Omoyele Sowore and other campaigners, was supposed to be a major nationwide event to demand the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The protest was set to hold in Abuja and other major cities, and people were already getting ready to hit the streets peacefully. But then, the Inspector General of Police stepped in and instructed police lawyers to file a case at the Federal High Court to stop the protest. The police said they were worried that such a big protest could cause public disorder or even lead to clashes, especially considering how sensitive Nnamdi Kanu's case is. They wanted the court to urgently grant them an order stopping the protest from taking place. Now, this was done through what's called an ex parte motion, meaning they went to court to ask for that order without informing the other party first, claiming it was an emergency matter. But here's where the twist came in: the Federal High Court in Abuja refused the police's request. Yes, the judge said no to the ex parte order, meaning the protest could go on. This shocked many people because it showed that the court stood on the side of citizens' right to peacefully express themselves. Now, this decision stirred a lot of reactions. Many Nigerians, especially human rights activists, hailed the court judgment. They said it's a victory for democracy, that people should be free to speak up and demand justice peacefully. But others, especially those in the security circle, felt the court's decision could create security risks. They worried that a peaceful protest could turn chaotic if hijacked by other groups. As all this was happening, the planned protest still went ahead. Some groups gathered in Abuja, and according to reports, security was very tight. You could see police vehicles everywhere, officers on standby, and even surveillance teams monitoring the crowd. It was clear that the authorities were not taking any chances. But despite that, the protesters carried placards and banners with words like "Free Nnamdi Kanu Now," "Obey court orders," and "Justice delayed is justice denied." The mood was emotional but peaceful. Sowore himself addressed the crowd, saying the fight is not about violence but about fairness, justice, and human rights. Now, this is where things started getting more interesting. After the protest, many political voices began to react. Some people accused the government of trying to silence freedom of expression, while others defended the IGP, saying he was only trying to prevent chaos. The truth is, this is one of those situations where both sides believe they are right, and that's what makes it so complex. Let's pause for a second. If you're following the story so far, kindly like this video right now, drop your comment below, and tell me, do you think the police were right to try and stop the protest? Or do you think the court did the right thing by allowing it to go on? I want to know what you think, because your opinion really matters. And if you're new here, please subscribe so you can always get the latest updates on stories like this. Alright, let's continue. For those who may not fully understand why Nnamdi Kanu's issue is so sensitive, let me break it down in simple words. Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, a group that's been advocating for the independence of the southeastern region of Nigeria. He was first arrested some years ago, later released on bail, but then he disappeared for a while and was rearrested after he was brought back from Kenya. Since then, his trial has dragged on, and that has caused a lot of tension in the southeast. Supporters say he's being unfairly detained, while the government insists he has a case to answer because of alleged calls for secession and actions that threaten national unity. So, this case is not just legal, it's political, emotional, and symbolic. And that's why every time something happens around Nnamdi Kanu, whether it's about his health, his court appearance, or in this case, a protest for his release, it instantly makes national headlines. Now, the IGP's attempt to stop the protest shows just how sensitive the topic still is to the federal government. You could tell the police didn't want a situation where things might spiral out of control. But at the same time, the court's refusal to stop the protest reminded everyone that Nigeria is still a democracy, and that citizens have the right to gather peacefully and express their demands. The interesting part is that the police are still expected to go back to court, this time with full notice, to continue the case. So, this matter isn't over yet. There's still going to be legal back and forth between the activists and the police. The court's next ruling will determine whether future protests like this will face more restrictions or be freely allowed. Now, let's think about what this means for the bigger picture. It shows how fragile the balance between security and freedom can be. Nigeria, being a diverse country, faces the challenge of maintaining peace while also respecting the voices of the people. And this incident, this Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest, perfectly captures that struggle. You know, sometimes, we forget that both sides, the government and the people, actually want peace, but they just have different ways of pursuing it. The government worries about maintaining order, while the people worry about justice being delayed or denied. And when courts step in, it reminds everyone that law, not force, should decide the outcome. That's why this court decision is so important. It didn't just allow a protest, it made a statement about the rule of law in Nigeria. Now, if you've been watching this closely, you notice something else. This kind of peaceful push for justice is gaining more momentum, especially among young Nigerians who are tired of being silent. Whether it's about insecurity, governance, or cases like Nnamdi Kanu's, more people are speaking out. But I say this again, it must always be done peacefully and lawfully. Because when protests turn violent, the message gets lost. That's why activists like Soho kept emphasizing that the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest must be non-violent. Before I wrap this up, let me remind you again, if you're enjoying this breakdown, please take 1 second to like this video, subscribe, and share it with others. It really helps the channel grow and keeps you updated on what's happening across Nigeria. Now, as we look ahead, it's clear that this isn't the end of the story. More court sessions will happen. The activists will keep pushing. The police will keep monitoring. And Nigerians, both at home and abroad, will keep watching to see if justice will finally prevail. One thing is sure, the demand to free Nnamdi Kanu isn't fading anytime soon. It's becoming a symbol for something bigger, a call for fairness, justice, and respect for the rule of law. And as a country, the way we handle this issue will show whether our democracy truly protects everyone equally, or whether power still decides what's fair and what's not. So my people, that's the full gist. A protest planned, the police trying to stop it, the court stepping in, and the people standing their ground peacefully. It's a powerful story of rights, law, and the struggle for justice. Thank you for staying till the end, I really appreciate you. Remember, like this video, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. Do you think Nnamdi Kanu should be released now? Or should the legal process continue until everything is fully resolved in court? Let's talk about it in the comments.